Welcome back. Well, you saw that the need for suburban railways is now, I think, the most that we need it. The most that we need it right now, considering that fines are up, traffic fines are up, escalating. We've got to have a mass public transport, and if not for the suburban railways, then what else? We're still trying to flex our muscles when it comes to the metro, but a railway line that's already laid out. Suburban railway does not need too much money, too much work as of now. It just needs approvals. But somehow or the other, it's delaying. Successive governments have been party to this delay. And considering that the BJP has been so proactive so far, we're really wondering why it hasn't progressed beyond what it has. Joining us in the studio here, we have Rajiv Gowda, Congress MP, and also, of course, the man who's been championing this cause for suburban railways for quite some time. Srinivas Alavali, CFB activist. He's been championing this cause for quite a while. We also have Raj Dugar joining us, who's been fighting for a suburban rail to the airport for quite some time, floated a petition, almost got his approvals, but I don't know where it's delayed. We also have Sandeep Anirban, who's been fighting for the same cause. He's an activist himself, joining us, and Mr. Naveed. Naveed also has been fighting for suburban railways. Many of them, barring their profession, have come out and been an activist championing for suburban railways. They have different professions, but they want a suburban railway, a mass public transport to be implemented in Karnataka soon enough. We're very disappointed that it hasn't happened so far, but let me go over with the experts and panelists to ask to find out what really is the need of the hour here. Mr. Rajiv, would you want to start with? You've been championing the cause for years now. Why, according to you, a few points that Karnataka right now needs, or Bengaluru needs urgently, a suburban railway?
See, I've been championing this from 2008.
Yes.
So it's really taken a long time to move. See, the railways have an experience of suburban rail in other cities. For example, Mumbai, where it's a loss-making proposition. So they're not particularly interested in what might be seen as intra-city transport and another loss-making proposition. Now, I've argued with the railways over the years that just like we had Volvo buses in Bangalore, where you could have costlier service on, which is also part of the bus service, and that will make a huge difference, to go ahead and come up with something similar. Then we got caught in the whole state versus center, sort of volleyball. And over the years, what shall we say, I remember when I was first elected to Parliament, I brought it up in a legislature party meeting, and the then chief minister said, "Hey, why are you troubling me? It's a central government thing," and the central government's not willing to do it either. Now,
and we see the same reactions even till today.
No, but we've also been extremely patient, because the government has, whether it's the Congress government previously, UPA, or the NDA government, they've all expressed some support. But by the time the bureaucracy decides on a particular way to take things forward, it's taken forever. And it continues to take forever. This morning I met with Suresh Angadi, Minister of State for Railways in Delhi, and we flew to Bangalore together, and we spent some time discussing this. And I've told him I'll give him a set of bullet points on how we can actually break the logjam. But the logic of it is inescapable. You go to any big city anywhere in the world, you have multiple modes of public transport. And when you have, like you pointed out, existing railway infrastructure, then it's a question of rejigging what travels on that. And how do you make sure that people who need to travel large distances can do so in the shortest possible time? Even our metro system is modeled on stopping in every location.
It does not have end-to-end connectivity.
It doesn't have express trains. If you go to New York, you have express and locals running in parallel. So you can actually cover large distances in a very short period of time. So we haven't put in place the infrastructure, and Bangalore's planners historically have tended to come up with solutions after the city has grown. If you actually think of the loss to the nation in terms of lost GDP, if you think about some of the most productive, professionals in this country spending 2 hours up and down in traffic every day, think of all that we could have earned as a nation from their productivity if we had found ways to move them faster from one point to the other. So it's not rocket science. It's just bureaucracy looking for ways to, to throw the ball back and forth. And I think right now there's enough momentum that we will actually see, and by the way, this is across party lines. We've been cooperating across party lines, and we have been supporting the proposal.
We're seeing pressure coming in from all sides, but I don't know where that log jam is. We've been trying to identify where that block happens time and again, but unfortunately so far, despite all of those protests, despite News9 carrying several shows, discussions, debates with all those stakeholders, it hasn't moved beyond that. Srinivas, would you say, where is this log jam here? We are looking at a situation where all those approvals, those files are pending on the tables of all those officials. PC Mohan has been proactive and has promised that he'll push this forward, but suddenly there seems to be a very weird silence that they're...
Yeah, so like Professor Rajiv Gowda was just saying, there has been across party support for this. Late Anant Kumar, Member of Parliament, Professor Rajiv Gowda, Mr. PC Mohan, all of them have been, batting for it, lobbying for it in Delhi with the Railway Ministry and all of that. And for the longest time, the issue was the state government is not giving permission for this. They won't let them acquire land. They won't, allow them to do this, do that. All that changed when Siddaramaiah was the Chief Minister, and he is batted for it, allocated funds for it. We actually acquired new MEMU trains for local journeys, all of that. And then the hurdles were cleared during Kumaraswamy Chief Ministership. Hurdles were cleared for acquiring additional land so that the line between Bangalore Cantonment and Whitefield has now is being quadrupled, and the automated signalling has been done. So a lot of advances have been done. Those of us that have been fighting for this for years, and including thousands of people getting on the train. I remember you getting on the train with us from Yashwantpur to Yelahanka to,
It was such a beautiful ride. The view was great, and I reached so quick. I was faster than my cab.
And 1,000 people got on the train, and we done the time and again, and exactly to break this log jam. Right, and this I will entirely blame the combination of lack of political will and the bureaucratic red tape. The railway department officials seems to think that their only priority in life is to make sure that the long distance trains get into Bangalore. For them, that is their bread and butter, and they want to focus on that. And they don't realize that a part of their job is also to ensure that the Bengaluru commutes within itself. It's a precious resource, and I won't blame the officers too, because it's the job of the elected representatives and the political representatives that we have to urge upon them that, look, we know what you're supposed to do, but this is extremely important. Bangalore is struggling. Bangalore is crumbling under this weight of pollution. And Nabila, I'm sure I've mentioned this in your show a million times before. I'll say it one more time for your viewers. There are nearly 6 lakh people that work between Silk Board and KR-Puram on Outer Ring Road.
Yes.
6 lakh people. Right, and this 6 lakh people travel on this 18 to 20 kilometer stretch, which is a series of flyovers and a signal free road, and every single day there is a massive traffic jam there. Right, at the same time, till today there is no metro there. Right, the metro tender has been cancelled and it's going to be reissued. So by the time the metro comes, I think the software technology will go 3 more generations. We don't know what we will be building at that time. At the same time, behind the Outer Ring Road, there is a railway stations lying there gathering dust. Beautiful stations that look like the Malgudi fictional railway stations, and beautiful platforms and the trees and all of that. Bellandur, Karmalaram, Hilaligi, these stations. And we, for the life of us, none of us sitting here can understand why is it that the track exists and people are working, thousands of people are working, and yet you cannot, somehow make more trains get there. Use your algorithms, use your strategy, delay some long distance trains, do whatever it takes to help alleviate the traffic congestion that we have in Bangalore. And we are 100% sure that by taking very doable short-term measures, you can remove thousands of cars from the Outer Ring Road, which not only jam up the Outer Ring Road, but the entire city. And this is a precious resource sitting right there, and still we are not able to get there.
If they know it all, then why are they being hesitant, Srinivas? What do you think is really stopping them?
after exhausting
budget-
all the logical options, the only thing I can think of is maybe the automotive lobby is so strong enough that there are forces playing that are not letting
Sanjeev,
this happen.
please do join.
I'm
I'm
not
waiting to ask you a question. You are the expert. Mic up. But Raj, until then, you've been following up on the railways to airport. And you had what, 25,000 signatures. You managed to float a petition with that many signatures. You got approvals for it also. But where is it stuck? What's the progress to that? A suburban railway all the way to the airport, which we are dying to see in reality.
Thanks, Nabila, for this program. I want to make one point clear to all the viewers that we are talking about two different things. One is a suburban train system, which is going to be a parallel system, which is going to be a new thing, totally new thing, whose approval is still pending. I don't know why. The other thing we are talking about is existing infrastructure to be used to provide trains from across different parts of the city. So one of those could be a train to the airport. Now what was happening is that there is a railway line running very adjacent to the airport, which is grossly underutilized, and the entire traffic to the airport is road centric. It's going to double up in the next 1 year, 1.5 years when T2 is ready, and we are not doing anything about it. Metro will take at least another 4 to 5 years to reach the airport. So the ideal thing would be to have a halt station there near the airport and then have these trains going from various parts of the city, and these trains could also double up as kind of suburban services for en route passengers. Now after this demand has picked up, I think the BIL has seen the writing on the wall, and they have come forward to say that they will build a halt station.
Okay.
And that design
BIL are going to build it
yes,
by themselves.
By themselves.
Okay.
That's
forthcoming.
Yes, and
They offered it in 2008.
A decade ago.
yeah,
then what's
but they have
then
to
what
get
are we really
approvals from the
talking about?
railways. They have to get approvals, and so
No, but
now
if they are forthcoming, it's going to bring down that cost. So then what is the, why is there no, all the other stakeholders are willing and are extending their hand to come help.
Well, there
but
are still people
successive
asking-
governments are stalling it. So there must be something
No.
beyond just
One is
politics
about
here.
taking
I'm
who gets the
surprised.
credit,
There's
who gets
something
the
beyond
credit
just
is one of the
politics. Who
reasons.
gets the credit?
Because till now we never had the same government in power in both state and center. That has been commonly thrown at us as an excuse of why this is not moving forward. At this point, like you pointed out at the beginning of the show, that no longer is true. So we are now hoping that things will actually move now that this happened. Though it
BJP
makes
was
absolutely
proactive.
no sense. How does it matter which party is in power where? Everybody is supposed to work for the people and make the city better.